Welcome to another video review. Today I'm looking at the Antec 600 version 2 case. So once again we have the standard black, yellow Antec color theme. The box does look pretty sharp. It's not like, a plain looking box at all. Very eye-catchy. A picture of the product on the box as well as other pictures and lots of features and specifications about the product all over the box. So if you are picking this up in store, you will have lots to go by. Now this is a mid-size tower case, so I'll open it from the top. Full-size tower cases, I generally open them from the bottom because I can just lift the box off. It's a little bit easier that way. But this one's not too big. Now the packaging material is quite good. Quality styrofoam on either end. It's nice and thick. Also, the case comes in a plastic bag. Now let me remove this foam. And take off the plastic bag. And note that they have some protective plastic here at the top and also on the left window, and there's also a plastic on the inside of the window. They include a quick setup guide. If you want the complete manual, you'll have to go to antec.com/manuals. As well, they have a couple of cable ties and really all of the materials needed for installing, like the motherboard and as well the drives. Looks like they have rubber grommets here for the 2.5-inch hard drives. I don't know about you, but when I first had a look at this product, I thought, wow, this case has some really aggressive styling. I mean, at the top here, it looks almost like it's a spider that's ready to just jump off the case and bite you. I don't know if that's good or bad. Now this is a mid-sized tower case, and this kind of gray silver theme is carried from the top right on down to the front, and you can see the grill here in the front as well. That kind of very bold styling. At the top here we have a mammoth 200mm exhaust fan. Now I'm not 100% on this, but I believe you could use these quote-unquote handles. Kind of look like spider feet to me, but in any case, you could probably use these to lift the case because there's lots and lots of, I think they're bolts they're using to attach this top section to the top panel, which I believe is riveted on the case. And I kind of just pushed and pulled on these, and they seem extremely strong, so you should be able to lift the case when it's full of computer goodness to wherever you want. And that will be ideal because, to be honest, this case is really suited both in looks and styling and design for LAN parties. And there's 3 USB ports, the power button, reset button, microphone jack, as well as the headphone jack, and the power and hard drive LEDs. You can install up to 3 5.25-inch drive bays, and by the way, for a mid-sized tower case, that is pretty normal. You can also install a 2.5-inch drive. It could be a 2.5-inch hard drive, or even better, a 2.5-inch solid state drive, and it's hot swappable. Just have a look at how quick this is. Pop! It's in, and it's out. To remove the front bezel, just push in on 3 plastic latches that are on the left side of the case. I've done so, and then just swing it out. They include a removable large dust filter. For the 2 optional 120mm fans, which can be installed on this. Now the left side panel has a very large window, and I have to say that I like the styling on this. It's kind of like pointing forward. It's like an arrow almost. It kind of looks like, I don't know, going forward instead of backward. That's a good thing, right? In any case, you can put an optional 120mm fan right here. I noticed the rubber grommets. Fantastic to prevent the fan from vibrating and making those annoying sounds. And by the way, having a case that has a side panel fan that will intake cool air is of tremendous value because it can pump in cool air where it's needed on top of the video card, the motherboard, and so on and so forth. At the back of the case, at the very top in this black section, there's a number of different fan controls. You can turn the LEDs on this mammoth 200mm top exhaust fan on or off. That's good because some people do not like LEDs, and those that do like LEDs probably don't want to have them on all the time. You can also adjust the speed on this top fan as well as the rear fan. The top fan control is right here. The rear fan control is here. So just a flick of the switch, you can go from a medium to high speed. Now, for whatever reason, they do include the motherboard's I/O shield plate, and for the most part, I would imagine in all cases, to be honest, this would be punched out and you would use the motherboard's I/O shield plate that comes with the motherboard, but in any case, they have it there. They include this 120mm exhaust fan, and there are 7 expansion slots. Couple of holes here you can punch out, but as far as I can tell, there's no rubber grommets included. You can also, buy rubber grommets if you want to after the fact. At the bottom is where a standard ATX power supply gets installed, and they include 4 thumb screws, 2 on each side panel. And look at this right here. Let me swing the case around so you can have a closer look. If you want to secure this case, just use an optional lock, slip it through there, and then this left side panel is secure. A great option to have, considering again that this is kind of like, a LAN party theme case. If you're taking this out of your home or office, out of your safe zone, it's kind of nice to have this option. Now, this is a little bit of a mystery. Do you know what I'm talking about? Why is the inside of this case not black? I don't know. Probably to keep costs down, but still having a black interior, especially with a case that has a window on the side panel, I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They should have had the interior on this black. Maybe there will be an upcoming 600 version 3 case, or maybe a version 2 with a black interior. I don't know, but I think most people would probably want to have a black interior instead of this plain Jane interior. This is the way it used to be. It's not that way anymore. This is kind of like dated, and I think the interior of this should have been black. Okay, enough about that. In any case, they do have what's important on the inside. They have a large hole on the motherboard tray that will allow easy access to the cooler's retention plate. I don't see any kind of cable management holes here on the motherboard tray, but you can tuck them behind there. Not a lot of space, to be honest, behind the motherboard tray. At the bottom is where the power supply gets installed. No rubber feet there, though, for the power supply to rest on. And you can install up to 6, that's pretty good, 6 3.5-inch drives. Now, I mentioned earlier that you can install a 2.5-inch drive in the front of the case. That's a hot swappable drive. You pop it in, pull it out. Well, you can also install another 2.5-inch drive at the bottom of the case. Now, while this is a mid-sized tower case, you will have no problem fitting a full-length hardcore gaming video card, which is good news. Look at that. You've got over 11.5 inches, approximately 295 millimeters. At the bottom, they include 4 rubber feet, which is nice. It's much better than hard plastic because it should help cut down on vibrations. Now, before we have a listen to the stock cooling, just let me recap. There's one 120 millimeter fan at the back of the case. There's another 200 millimeter fan at the top of the case. Both of these fans exhaust, and they both have blue LEDs. The only one, though, that the LEDs can be turned off on is the top one with that switch at the back. Okay, let's first have a listen to the fans at medium speed. And now at the high speed. If you're in the market for a very plain, simple looking case that has clean lines and is elegant, this is not it. This is something completely different. The elegant kind of simple lines will appeal probably to a different kind of folk, maybe a different age group than this case. This case is intended to be very bold and very aggressive. And I have to say, even though I do like, cases that are aluminum, they have nice clean rounded corners, look kind of simple and plain, I somehow don't know why, but I kind of like the look on this case. I can see where this would be a fantastic LAN party case. You've got those, I don't know what you call them, legs, handles, I don't know, at the top of the case. And again, don't quote me, but I think you can lift everything with those at the top. Not quite sure why else they would put them up there, because people are going to go for them. Hopefully they'll hold up. I think they will, because there's a number of bolts there, although it is plastic, but it is heavy plastic. Okay, enough about that. In any case, the overall appearance on the case is quite nice if you like this kind of bold, aggressive styling. The case itself has some really good features, some features though that are missing. It doesn't have a removable motherboard tray. It's not aluminum, of course. This is really a budget kind of category, a case, affordable product. It also does not have a black interior, and that is a little bit disappointing, especially since it has a clear window on the left side panel. I am not exactly sure what happened there, but I suspect it probably has to do with keeping the price down. Also, I think they should have included just a few more fans, at least one at the front would have been nice. So they would have had one at the top, one at the back, one at the front. But right now it stands, they have a huge one at the top and just one at the back. Fans are not that expensive. And to be honest, a lot of people want to, put their own fans in there anyway. So that might not be an issue for some. But all things considered, this is a great product. Until next time, take care.